Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. We want to appeal to the South African people, the South African progressive people in South Africa. They must know this, what I'm talking about. Since 1980, we have been suffering since Smith left the office in Zimbabwe. They know this, the South African government and the South African people. You all know this. So I want to start from 1980. Yeah, since we got our independence, these guys, they came in. They didn't do anything. They didn't do nothing until they started following people and murdering people and torturing their own people. Yeah, up to 1994, they were doing the same system. Then Mandela came, and Mandela was the only South African president who said to Mugabe, Mugabe, you must resign. He's the only president who was telling the truth. Yeah, since Mandela left, here comes Thabo Mbeki. Thabo Mbeki was a friend of Mugabe. People explained to him that Mugabe is not a man to talk to, but he didn't understand. Yeah, they were calling each other brothers and all that rubbish nonsense about their brotherhood. Then Zuma came, the same thing. Then today we have got Ramaphosa. Ramaphosa has been, I don't know how I can explain it. He has been worse than the other two. Because Ramaphosa is the only president who went to Harare to congratulate someone who didn't win the elections. Mnangagwa, Ramaphosa knows that Mnangagwa didn't win the elections. Mnangagwa never won any election free and fair in Zimbabwe since he came into politics. So we want to know, what is the secret between ANC and the ZANU-PF? Because it seems to us that ANC, they don't care about the human rights abuse which is happening in Zimbabwe right now. They don't care about that. What they care is just Mnangagwa to be in power in Zimbabwe. So we wanted to know, where is this love coming from? Because this man, as you know, he didn't win the elections as I'm talking now. He is not the president of that country. He rigged the elections. They announced the election result at night when everyone is in bed. They have been doing so for the past 3 decades. So we want to know your relationship between ZANU and ANC. Because if it was not South Africa, Zimbabwe would be free by now. Zimbabwe will be free by now. But Zimbabwe has been supported by ANC, ZANU-PF. They support ZANU-PF. They don't know that ZANU-PF are totally different from them. They never reached the point where they were killing each other like ZANU-PF does in Zimbabwe. The human rights abuse, the corruption. As we are talking now, thousands of people are in prison without bail. People are being tortured. People are being arrested. every day as we are talking under Mnangagwa's government. But Ramaphosa doesn't see it that way. So we are appealing to you, South Africans. Do you want refugees in your country or not? Because we are supposed to stand up to this Ramaphosa and tell him the truth about the situation in Zimbabwe. To understand that if it was not him, the people of Zimbabwe would be not in South Africa as we are talking right now. Zimbabwe had industry, Zimbabwe had everything, as you know. But everything was closed down by this regime. The people of Zimbabwe, they didn't like this government for the past 3 decades. They didn't like this government. But they've got they've got nothing they can do. They voted more than 4 times now. The elections are being rigged every time they go to the ballot box. So we are saying to South Africa, South African people, please help us to tell this Ramaphosa to get out of Zimbabwean politics. He is the only leader who went to Harare to congratulate someone. He understands that he is a criminal, Mnangagwa. He is a criminal. He is arresting people. He is killing his people. In Zimbabwe right now, there's no hospitals. People are dying in hospitals. There's no drugs because of corruption of this idiot called Mnangagwa. We appreciate what DA are doing about the Zimbabwe situation. And Malema, Julius Malema, what they are doing about the Zimbabwe situation. We have been in trouble with these criminals for the past 4 decades. These are criminals, all of them. They have looted that country. The country has been bankrupted by them. They steal minerals, the money for minerals, they steal everything, you name it. But we are surprised by South African stand to support people. They know that these people, they've destroyed that country in their own eyes. Because South Africa is not far from Zimbabwe, you know what is going on. They destroyed that country which used to feed the whole of Africa. As you know, Zimbabwe didn't want money from anybody. Zimbabwe used to supply other countries with food. But they've destroyed that. And your stand to support a party which is killing its own people. The world is in shock about Ramaphosa. He doesn't know what is going on in Zimbabwe as we are talking now. Jails in Zimbabwe, they've got no water. They've got no electricity and the people are being arrested. And they are denied food in those conditions and everything. We are appealing to you, South African people, to tell Ramaphosa. He must know what he's talking about if it comes to Zimbabwe situation, because in Zimbabwe, people are dying with hunger as we are talking. They destroyed everything. There's no currency in that country. Zimbabwe has got so many problems. You can't talk about Zimbabwe because of Mnangagwa and his cronies. There's nothing going on there. He just wants to stay in power just because he knows that the day he will be out of office. He committed so many crimes, this man, as you know. Now is the time for the Zimbabweans, because the Zimbabwean people, they are fed up with this. We are going to demonstrate. We are going to show even the South Africans that if we say we are fed up with this ZANU-PF nonsense, We are going to stop it. No matter Ramaphosa you like it or not. Because if it was not South Africa, we would be free by now. It's ANC who supported this nonsense. Look at the human rights records. Mnangagwa is arresting people as we are talking now. He doesn't want anyone to talk about the elections. He doesn't want anyone to talk about the shortage of everything in the country. We appreciate those ones who are supporting us. We are not going to stop. We are not going to stop until ZANU PF is gone. Thousands of women are dying in hospitals. Children, no drugs, no food. The country is empty because of him, because of their wrong policies. We want Mnangagwa out. Thank you.